Well, what's been getting up my nose this week? Well, it's players who get off the coach in those massive headphones going, ticky, 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 ticky. What's that all about? They should be talking about the game, talking to their mates about how they're going to win the game, how they're going to alleviate the danger of certain players in the other team. But no, they're listening to this certain rapper called Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre? It's Dr. Dreadful, isn't it? I mean, I was wearing those headphones about 30 years ago, and you know what? I used to plug them into my mini hi-fi, which was about that big. Anyway, what people should be doing is not wearing massive headphones during games, which they do, or in post-match interviews. They're still wearing them when they're being interviewed. It's ridiculous. My advice to these players is why not, if you're going to wear these headphones, why not try a little bit of Luther Vandross or Barry White? And I'll tell you what, not only will you get a result on the pitch, you might get one off it as well. Referees. Everybody's having a go at referees. Managers, players, some want consistency, some want common sense. Well, that's a contradiction. If you want consistency, then you want referees to apply the laws of the game. If you want common sense, then you want referees to apply their own interpretation of the laws of the game. You can't have it both ways. I want consistency. That means take the emotion away from referees and let them referee the game. That means if someone kicks the ball away after the referee blows his whistle, it's a yellow card. If someone swears at the referee, it's a yellow card. If someone does a double-footed tackle, it's a red card. It doesn't matter how it gets, whether he gets the ball or not. Now, where do we go from here? The referees need help. So what I think you need to do is put up or shut up. What I want to talk about this week is meaningless international friendlies. Usually they are a total waste of time. I'd rather watch paint dry. But, you know, this week it's been different. You know, you've had the Republic of Ireland against Uruguay, Scotland against Brazil, and you know what? England against Ghana was just a joyous occasion. But why were they so good? I'll tell you the reason why. Because the big guns, the England big guns, had been sent home. And we had players wearing the England shirt who wanted to really prove something, prove that they wanted to be England internationals for a very long time. The Ghana players played with a lot of pride and passion as well. And it was a real credit to them to play 2 days after an Africa Cup of Nations game and want to play on the hallowed turf. And then we saw 20,000 Ghanaians supporting the team. But the England supporters reacted in a tremendous way to make it a great atmosphere. So what do we need to do? We need to keep doing this. The FA, we need to get teams like this over here so we get something out of the game. Because I don't want to see tactical games where there's 27 substitutions before half-time. So come on, let's keep it going. OK, what I want to deal with today are teams that have taken an early holiday. And the ones that come to mind are Bolton and West Bromwich Albion. Now, Bolton, I'm sure some of their players were wearing flip-flops the other day when they were playing. They were that bad. And you know what? You've got to be careful with players' attitude because the way they play at the end of the season does bring into question the integrity of the competition. So they've got to do it properly. But you know what? I'll forgive Bolton. I'll forgive West Bromwich Albion because they've had good seasons and they've achieved what they wanted to achieve. But I won't forgive Arsenal because they are definitely on holiday. Mentally, they're in the pedalo wearing Speedos, licking an ice cream. And that's not right. It's a disgrace. And you know what? They've got to be careful because they could get an early callback to come and play early in the qualifiers of the Champions League. Now, Arsene Wenger's kids might have to leave their buckets and spades on the beach. And if that happens, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stamp on their sandcastles. The season's almost over. What am I going to do? I mean, there's been some great football played in the Barclays Premier League this season, but that's apart from West Ham. But you know what? I'm really going to miss it. I'm going to miss the managers when they get thrashed, saying, oh, we were unlucky, you know, and it's a little bit of a setback. And players kissing the badge while their agents are out looking for a move for them. And, you know, referees just making decisions based on nothing that any of us have seen. You know what? But what am I going to do? Am I going to play golf? No, that's boring. Am I going to watch cricket? No, that's boring. Am I going to watch replays of Liverpool's run in the Europa League? No, that was boring. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reminisce about some wonderful football in the Premier League this season and really look forward to next. And maybe they should think about having a 52-week season to keep me happy. What do you think? It's okay. I'm just feigning injury. Good, isn't it? No, it's not good. It's a disgrace. It's shameful. Why do players, when they get kicked on the shin, the pain transfers up their leg, through their tummy, into their face? Why does that happen? You know what? When players are really injured, they stay still. They don't roll about. Because it's serious. I've seen enough of it in my time. And in the good old days, I know I go on about the good old days, but what was good about those days is that if you did get kicked, you weren't allowed to show any sort of weakness. It kind of encouraged the other team. So what should we do? Do you know, referees get a lot of stick for not getting decisions right, but what do you expect when players are rolling around the pitch? They don't get the big penalty decision right. They don't get the free kick right. They need help. And do you know what? Players need help as well. Because you know what? It's embarrassing. We've got to cut it out. Supporters who leave the ground early really wind me up. I don't care if there's traffic. You should stay and support your team. I'll give you an example. Blackpool against Wigan. They were 3-0 down and the supporters started to leave. What do you think that does to players? It devastates them. And Blackpool have done great to get you there. I know they hadn't played well, but what if they go down by 1 point or by 1 goal difference? Who do you think should take responsibility then? I think the fans who left should take responsibility. Bolton fans, I understand your frustration in the FA Cup, but support your team. They've done great to get you there. I was at West Ham when we lost 4-0, and I was in the crowd with the supporters, and they sang for 90 minutes. You know what we did? We went and won the next game for them. It's vital you support your team through thick and thin. Come on, do it properly. You're looking at me? Do you want some? Of course you don't, because I'm a happy chappie. Why are footballers so miserable? Wayne Rooney scores a hat-trick that most of us mere mortals would only dream about, and he's miserable. Fernando Torres walks around the pitch like he's been sent to detention. With all that money washing around, why can't he just cheer up? Somebody once said to me, it's a man's game. And you know what? I could see where they were coming from. But is it a man's game? It's a game that's played by everybody, all sexes, shapes, sizes and ages, if you're fit enough to play, that is. And you know what? Why do they do it? Because they enjoy it. Now, my message to all those players out there, play with passion, play with pride, but most of all, enjoy it, because believe me, in a blink of an eye, it'll all be gone. Players feigning injury, it really winds me up. You know, when I played, I had bad injuries, and I saw a lot of terrible injuries as well. So when I see a player go down and he looks badly injured, I get this wave of nausea. But when I see a player going down, there's nothing wrong with him, I get a wave of anger. Because when they get a tap on the foot, why do they hold their head? Are the nerve endings of their foot in their head? No, they're not. They're holding their head because they're trying to get someone booked or someone sent off. And what about when they get stretched off the pitch? They get a round of applause. I actually start feeling sorry for them a little bit. And then they jump off and come straight back on. It's ridiculous. What about Nanny the other day? Oh, he was out for the season, infections and everything. But no, he's having his little foot. Cut your jibber jabber. Toughen up.